right, welcome to Wine Tasting with Giants. It's been a long time, I know, but I'm back. J-Tom Gunter, owner of GNS Wines, and I want to introduce my guest today, Ratha, owner of Stablished. Let me get into the wine first, and then we'll talk about what he's doing right now. So basically, today what we're sipping on, something out of Chile. It is a Carmenere blend. Carmenere, Petit Verdot, and Shiraz. Carmenere being a Bordeaux varietal, no longer grown in Bordeaux, mostly in South America. And also they have a couple of places in Italy where it's grown. Nice little blend, a lot of deep, dark fruits. And so I'll just pour a little bit, we'll toast, and then we'll get into what Ratha's doing.
Ooh. Are these like custom glasses for this specific type of wine, or is this...
So this one, I pretty much like to use universal glasses.
Yeah.
I mean, I have custom glasses. But with this kind of wine, I would recommend if you're going to sip on it, you want to sip on with more of a Bordeaux glass. So Bordeaux glasses tend to be a little bit this width, if not a little bit more narrow, and then they tend to be a little higher as far as. And then you also want to do something with like a thin lip, so the wine goes right to your palate and hits it exactly where it should hit. So again, Chilean Bordeaux blend. Cheers, my friend. Thanks for joining me. Salud, brother.
Salud.
So I love this wine, especially when you just open it because you get to see how it changes. Initially, when you open this type of wine, it tends to be a little drier, so it kind of sucks the moisture out of your mouth. But as soon as it goes down, your mouth starts to water amazingly. So that's the high acid that it has here. A lot of deep fruit up front. What do you think of it? Anything that you like about it? Anything that you don't like about it?
I like it enough to sip it again.
All right, there, brother.
This is a Bordeaux?
This is like these are Bordeaux varietals.
Okay.
Except for the Syrah that's in here.
Okay.
So like
it's a blend.
It's a blend. It's you have two Bordeaux varietals, which is Carmenere and Petit Verdot. Petit Verdot is normally used as like more of a blending grape. Some people do it as a single varietal, but it's normally a blending grape because of the high acid, the tannin that's already in the grape skin, which lends itself more to structure with wines. Carmenere is more of a fruit bomb, but you still get a little earthy notes there. And then the Shiraz, of course, being Syrah, tends to be a little bit more deeper in fruit. And a lot of kind of like natural acid in Syrah too. So that's what you got here. You have like a more of a Bordeaux mixed with Rhone blend type thing going on.
I really like the initial like pass at it after like the first sip taste. Maybe the settle. I'm noticing that dryness with it, and then I noticed the deepness with it. But I think the part that I like the most is just like the first taste
Sip,
on
the
it.
initial attack.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this is why I love these wines so much, because right when you hit it, you normally get that fruit up front, but then on top of that, after you let the air get into it, with specific wines like this, it changes, it evolves. So all those like kind of rough edges on the finish that you're probably getting right now, you're probably getting a little bit more of a tightness. You're not getting as much fruit.
Yeah.
You let this sit out for about 20, 30 minutes, or even decant it, and it's just gonna be seamless on the palate. It's just gonna be silky smooth, long finish. And if you're sitting there and you're having a long day and you want something just to sip on at a really good price, I recommend a bottle like this. This is the Anke. So, talked about the wine. I want to talk to my boy. I've known this guy since college. One of the greatest artists that I knew in college. Like, the man used to do amazing pieces. And he decided he wanted to segue more into business, but he's still doing his art. He's still being creative. So he's basically balancing all this. Maybe I'm talking too much. Let me let me get into it. I'm just super juiced because I've been waiting to get this guy on the program for a long time. So I'll let you get into it. What got you? What are you doing right now? What got you into specifically? What got you into wanting to be an artist first, and then maneuvering through to the business side?
First of all, thank you
for
including me in on this. I wasn't expecting this. I thought we were just hanging out, and we are hanging out. So we're doing the filming, so this is awesome.
Tried to sneak it in a little bit.
Man, I'm super excited for this to go down right now, and to do this too, middle of the day, clutch.
Heads up. Normally, you don't drink wine after you brush your teeth, but you know what? This is a special occasion, so I'm calling for how I can, man.
Yeah. to remember that one. I didn't know that. But yeah, I mean, I'm a wine lover as well. So this is dope. There's definitely some bottles here at the house on the regular. I know this is the guy that I've gone to at times to get some advice on stuff to pick up. So I didn't know about this Anke, so I'm with it.
Cool.
All right, to answer your questions though, being an artist and segueing into business, is that what it was? All right, so I'm for those that don't know, I'm a motion graphics director animator. Previous to that, when I met Jay, I was going through illustration school, and so I learned foundational art, drawing and painting. At the time, I was doing a lot of flyers for a bunch of our DJ homies that were throwing parties out in San Jose. So after a couple of years of doing flyers and album covers and things of that nature, I had a whole catalog of designs. And at the time, it was maybe around 2004, and I was inspired by just moving images and being able to turn my designs, my static designs, into animated designs. So I got into the world of motion graphics animation, and it was self-taught. I pretty much picked up a book, and at the time there wasn't really tutorials on it.
That's what I was gonna say. You were definitely ahead of the curve on that. I remember like you were coming around. There was a lot. We kind of had like a creative going on in college. Like honestly, like we had artists, DJs, musicians, writers, like stuff I was doing, and we all used to hang out at my friend Cameron's house, and like it was just like really this art creative, and he was the first person who started bringing it up, like the motion graphic stuff, and he would show us. We were like, how the hell are you doing this? This is crazy. So anyway, go back. I just thought you were ahead of the curve on that, and then everybody went there after that. So.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think at the time, it was still kind of a new thing, and I latched onto it quick, and I was just inspired. And at the time, in that era, early 2000s, we were just around a lot of prolific people, and just we were just all inspired and motivated to just do our thing. So being a b-boy, I just took a lot of that dance energy and just transferred it to this movement, and I just kept on teaching myself new things, new skills, taking it upon myself to just advance myself, to just get it to that professional level. There are people that I really looked up to, and I aspired to do what they did, and I knew I had to do my homework about it, and it wasn't going to just be given to me. I had to put in the hours to do it, and so I've been dedicated since then, and each year it's always been something different. I haven't been like, I don't do the same thing over and over, like, from after the animation, After Effects animation, which is a program made by Adobe that moves flat designs. I decided to learn 3D animation, so I taught myself that.
It's harder.
And then, it's just that whole third dimension, and getting accustomed to that world, and then being able to create, commercial visuals, at that level, and make a living out of it. That was dope. And then I started wanting to expand off that and take it another notch. So I started doing video, and incorporating with design and animation and video together. So once I started getting a hold of that situation and being able to harness those powers, I was like, man, let's bring it back to our roots. The music that moved us. And salute to music.
For real, man. Kind of thing that brought everybody together.
Yeah, man. For folks that don't know, me and Jay would be at the library, and we'd just be freestyling, rapping to each other.
Yeah, man.
In San Ho at Martin Luther King.
Sneaking in wine into the library so we could drink and work.
We had some cool sessions out there doing our hip hop thing, our artist thing.
I was never much of a rapper, by the way. He may have me on that.
We had some sessions. We done some freestyles together. I don't know. I don't do that as much back in the day. So this is those are like precious moments.
Yeah, man. I remember. So then, so you did all that, and then I remember recently I was, I always follow you online, but then also me and you were talking, and you were saying that you wanted to get into music. So you actually started really wanted to do more producing or production, and you moved out to New York for a while.
Yeah.
What brought that about? Did you just say, you know what, I've been doing this for so long, I just need to change, and I love music so much, I really want to get into it?
Yeah, man. Let's see. I mean, at the time, I was kind of things were just steady for me. Like I was working out in San Francisco. I moved out to San Francisco, and things were good. I moved out here to Oakland shortly after, and I just had things at like a good pace, you know. And it felt like I don't know, just being an artist and being a creative, you don't ever want to be stagnant. You know, you're always just trying to challenge yourself. At least naturally, that's what I do.
You get bored,
and I don't know if I get bored, but thank you. But I just wanted to step it up a little bit more. I just felt like I'm capable, and I don't know, you know, what this road leads to, but I just knew that the artist within me was like, man, you should learn music. You know, it's been your first love, not that you were trained in it, you know. But the one thing that made me get into beat production was actually the Tribe Called Quest documentary, Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
Yes,
and it was that section where Q-Tip, he replays the Can I Kick It sample on his MPC, but he was just so geeked off of it when he was explaining it, you know, back to the camera.
You can see the energy in his eyes.
Yeah, exactly, man. He was just, I mean, he looked like he's still juiced off of that sample. So when he played that sample and those drums, my eyes lit up, because Q-Tip was always just like, well, at the time, he was like the lyricist, you know, for A Tribe Called Quest. He wasn't like the producer to me, because I always thought like Ali, because he was the DJ,
of course,
he was the producer. But nah,
easy transition for him.
It was Q-Tip that was like the orchestrator of a lot of their music. Like he laid down the beats. And after seeing that, like, okay, this is one side, but this is this whole other side that you don't even know about him. And I was like, dude, like that was my shit back in the day, you know, like, you know, Low End Theory, those are my Bibles.
Mine too, man. That was like, I remember, like, because we had DJs too. That was the cool thing about our collective. We have DJs in there, so the music and the crate digging was crazy. We always got new stuff before anybody else. I remember Cam was all about, like, I'm not gonna say he was downloading things, but he knew, he was downloading things, and he would bring in the new music. Have you got this? Have you heard of Dwelle? I remember Dwelle dropped. He was the one who kind of put me on that. And just like this whole world of music that I had no idea about. And so I know exactly what you're talking about. Like we were heavy. All of us were pretty heavy into hip hop.
We were real music heads. Yeah. After watching that documentary, I was really inspired. I pretty much, like, the next day I went to the music store and I got like a MIDI keyboard, and I got like a cracked copy of Ableton Live, and I started just asking friends like, yo, how do you use this thing? And from there, you know, it was like maybe about 2 years on my own, just kind of, you know, learning to make beats. And then I was like, man, I really want to, like, know how to finish music. It's like I can start stuff, but I want to be able to not depend on people. I think that's one thing that I've learned about myself, is that, like, I don't want to depend on others to get the idea done.
Amen, bro.
I mean, at the same time, that has its drawbacks too.
I know, because things take a little bit longer to
because you should work with the team.
Yeah.
You know, but everybody. I mean, I'm surrounded by artists and everybody's doing their thing, you know? And so it's like, all right, you know, if I really want to learn this thing or do this thing and to wrap up, finish these beats, to learn how to mix and master it and stuff, like, I gotta take those steps to educate myself. So, at the time, things were steady for me, you know, going back to that, before I moved out to New York. And I was just thinking, like, dude, this would be a good move for me to just kind of step out of the Bay Area, get a different perspective, be in the hustle and bustle of New York, you know, just totally get a different type of inspiration, you know. And you know, we've, like, some of my early days going back there, you know, we traveled with a bunch of our other friends, like Cam and Jason and Cam and Owen, and we had a good trip. We wish you were there.
Yeah, no, I was the only one. I left later. I went down there and hung out with Cam by myself, and that was a great time too. But I did miss that trip. That was a blackout too, right?
That was a blackout trip.
Man, I was so jealous.
New York is special. So there was a school out there that I got put up on, and I decided to just sublet, you know, my place in Oakland and move out there to New York and just enjoy life for a little bit. I mean, always enjoying life.
Of course, that's what we do, man.
But just trying to add another skill to the skill set.
Got you. I got you.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So you've done a lot already, man. And I want to go back to something you said about, like, you know, not relying on others, because it's very true. Like, if you've worked with other people, specifically, I'll just go back to myself for a second. For me to go into business, it took a lot, because I had tried like 2 or 3 businesses with business partners before, and no diss them. I had a great time, like, learning how to do, like, business, like, I guess business stuff, as far as business plans, setting up everything financially, all the overhead, all that stuff. had a lot of fun doing that. But all of them fizzled just because, you know, you're relying on other people to get things done, and then somebody has a problem with another person. Next thing you know, outside stuff is affecting the business, and it's easy at that point. It becomes really easy to scapegoat and say it's this person's fault or it's these people's fault that I didn't get this done, or we didn't, you know, our plans didn't come to fruition. But that was the reason why I decided to do it myself, because now it's all on me. If it doesn't work out, I can't blame anybody else. I can blame myself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it at my own pace. I don't have anybody in my ear telling me what I need to do. Right. So you're also taking more control. Yeah. But you're right. It's always like, if you have people that are like-minded, that are all about their own stuff, it's good to kind of, you know, interact and help each other out to get each other to that next level. Yeah. It just, for whatever reason, it's hard to find those people. So that's why I kind of cherish certain relationships with friends that I know, or like you, that are just like focused on what they got to do, because I can reach out and talk to you and be like, look, man, I need help on this, and you're always like, I got you, bro. And it's, I love that, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get that a lot in this industry. A lot of people are all about themselves, and it's good to kind of collaborate with a lot of people that are like-minded. So cheers to that, bro.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So one thing I wanted to ask you, or probably, I mean, to kind of recap this whole thing, what are you doing now? Like, I know you got back maybe a couple years ago from New York. You got really good at the music. I started seeing you drop a lot of stuff, actually on your SoundCloud, which is, I mean, you got to hear, if you get a chance to check out his SoundCloud, and I'll ask him to give you all this information at the end of this interview, but his stuff on his SoundCloud, yo, you got to hear it. And he works with some really dope artists too. Like, you just got to hear it, man. You can see where he's grown from, like, where he was to where he is now. So it's like he's done a big leap as far as, in my opinion, musically. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there.
Thank you, man.
No problem. But what you doing now? What project are you working on right now?
So now I'm back in Oakland, back in the Bay, and let's see, what did I do? After getting settled back in, I was like releasing music pretty regularly, and then I just switched it up. I think I got to a point sometime last year in 2016, and I was just trying to think of, you know, what my next 5 years was going to be, you know, and trying to figure out how I was going to sustain. Really just trying to vision, like, where, or picture myself, like, what I'm going to be doing, like, when I'm 40.
Gotcha.
You know? Like, it's
a long game now, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's always been like that. I think even back when, you know, when we were in college, or after we got out of college, I was like, you know, 5-year plan. I was really big on that, and I committed to a 5-year plan, and I went through it, and it was dope to see that. After that 5 years, I kind of just tapered off, and I did other things. I was like, shit, I'm gonna learn music now, you know. So nature took its course, but now I'm realizing, like, you know, trying to just build off of the strengths that I have, and that's going back to the visuals and the video and animation. So with all the skills that I've acquired, you know, with, you know, illustration, design, animation, video, and music production, I'm trying to pretty much bridge all of that together, and in a way where it'll satisfy me creatively.
Gotcha.
It'll satisfy me, like, on a business end, and it just brings everything that I love into one thing. So what I've been doing this past year is developing a documentary series on the creative process of music producers. It's called Sight by Sound, and I just recently completed the first episode, which is a pilot on an artist named Tico from San Francisco. Super ill producer. Look him up, ticomusic.com. He's the man. And Tico's hit me up prior to this to do, like, some branding for him and some design for him and some video for him. So I've developed a really cool friendship with him. And come last year, in beginning of 2016, I came back from this trip from Cambodia, where I thought about, you know, what I'm gonna do for 2016, and I was like, I wanna bridge everything together, and this is what it is. Sight by Sound is the movement, and, you know, I'll be creating animated video, you know, documentary about, you know, people that I like, that I want to support, that I would like to see, you know, shine even more with this type of content. I'm so used to working for a lot of agencies and production companies and making their stuff look good. I was like, it's my time to make my own original content and direct more and get these, you know, these talents out into the world. So yeah, that's kind of what it is right now, and I'm on the move trying to plan for 2017, and I'm lining up artists for the next couple episodes, and it's been really promising. People who have watched it are very receptive, and they're down. So I expect by the end of this year I'll have a couple more episodes in the can, and you know, hopefully my directing will be better, my storytelling will be better, and hopefully I'll start getting back into making music. That's one thing that I've kind of sacrificed to
original content.
Yeah, to just think about the bigger picture for myself in the long term plan. You know, like I feel like music's an interesting thing. You know, I mean, like I was putting my eggs in that basket, but at the same time, I know that my strengths and how I get by and sustain is through video. So I couldn't completely abandon it. So I'm trying to figure out a way to be around both.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know? So I'm learning by filming artists and at the same time creating really cool content, and hopefully I'll be able to figure out a way to sustain off of it. That's the part that I don't know about, you know, the business part. So I'm learning about it now, and now that I've developed something that I could show, I'm running into those brick walls now, and those no's. Like I was like, yo, can you see this? Do you want to support it? No. Okay, next door. Look at this. This is dope. You feeling it? Yeah, I'm feeling it. All right, cool. Let's do something. We're already making something like it. All right, cool. Next door, you know. So I'm.
It's that hustle for real.
I'm feeling, you know, the growing pains of trying to take ill content, and trying to figure out a way to make, you know, to monetize it, and that's the whole game. I mean, it's not about the money, but at the same time,
you want to live off of what you
create. Yeah,
man.
Exactly. You know, we have too much access to information to not be able to execute these things. You know, it's free information out there, and that's kind of what I've been building my my career off of, man. I've learned animation on my own for just searching online,
doing it himself,
man. Yeah, you know, like taking the time to learn about music and just reinvesting in myself, in my skills and my talent and in my equipment, and making sure that I'm around good people, you know, to help me stay on the right path.
Well, cheers to all that, man.
Cheers, bro.
So one thing I want to say, man, I don't know how. Well, just a quick question. How in the hell are you able to maneuver the fear of doing this stuff? Because this is the thing, right? Like, everybody has these big aspirations. Everybody has these things they want to accomplish. And then a lot of times real life hits them. And so, maybe they failed at a couple things going down this road. Or people are in their ear telling them, like, you know what, why don't you just get a day job? Why don't you just do this? Why don't you do that? Work for a corporation, make money that way. You've been like one of the most fearless people that I know since college, as far as this goes. Like, I just don't know how you do it. Like, I mean, I've been on both sides of the equation. I've done, like, you know, have my own business now. But like, I started off working at AT&T for years. You know, like I started off doing corporate stuff and marketing, and like I did that, and it took me totally away from my art. I'm a writer. That's what I love to do. But working there for years, I didn't write anything, and I felt like I was off. But it was the reason I even I was working at AT&T, and I was making really good money. The reason I was doing that was because I was afraid of failing, because the two businesses I had tried to start prior to going over there, you know, had kind of derailed me. And I was like, you know what, I want to just make some money, get a nice little, get cushiony, you know, get soft. I did get soft too, as you can see. Now I'm in the gym trying to work it off, you know what I mean? But like, you know, I went there, got a little soft, and you know, then I realized I wasn't happy. So like, how did you like just say, I'm gonna stay on this path, I don't care what happens? How were you so fearless in this? I know it's a hard question, but I just had to ask because it's something that I've always wanted to ask.
I have fear. I cannot say I'm fearless, man. Not at all. I have a lot of fear as far as like moving forward and committing to, you know, my true nature. Mm-hmm. You know, it's definitely not an easy thing, mm-hmm. but I think the thing that's kind of kept me up, like my crutch, is this just the work ethic that I put into what it is that I'm into. I'm like, so long as I show up every day, I'm gonna have something to show for that day and build upon what I've just kept on building on. It's like constantly chipping away, and it's like, okay, I have this whole body of work now. Like that is the thing that I could walk through the door with, and I guess not have fear, because I don't have to say anything. My work speaks for itself.
Yes.
And so that kind of eliminates the fear, because I've put in the work, and it's so diverse.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a one-trick pony, so it makes me feel more empowered because I know that I put in the work. So I guess that allows me to, in a sense, be fearless. But yeah, right now, like with the project that I'm working on, I'm like, man, like I don't know if it's good enough. If I send it to them, I don't even know if they will fuck with it. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know, there's all those negative thoughts, but at the end of the day, I think, you know, I don't ever want to look back and be like, what if?
Yeah,
I
hear
like,
you.
This life is too short to doubt yourself, you know.
Seems like you built like pretty good foundation that way too. So like your foundation is pretty deep to a point where if something does get knocked down, because you've been able to master so many different things within your own craft, you seem like, you know, I can just lean over to the music side. I can do this, you know, and I can work off this and actually financially handle myself. And then if the music falls off, I can go back to the graphics, or if that falls, I can go to the art. You know, it's like I think that also plays into it. You've done so much work, and you've been so creative over all these years that you really basically have figured out a way to financially help to get yourself through regardless, and you're still basing it off your craft, which is, in my opinion, really dope, man. Really dope. Well, one last thing, I just want to say this. We're gonna sip on this wine one more time. I want to see how it changed, and I want you to put your nose in it this time, and then taste it with me, and then, you know.
That's what I didn't know. So you gotta like really just take a big whiff.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of people, when they taste wine, they tend to just like, they want to look cool and shit, so they like keep their nose out like this, and they smell it. But honestly, like if you really want to know what's going on in the wine, you put your nose in it, and you smell, and then like if you notice now, like when you first were tasting, you got the fruit, but now you're getting a little bit more of a dustiness. You're getting like kind of like a dusty wild strawberry. You're getting like some blueberry notes now. You're also getting just a hint of cedar, but not a lot, which means that it's been in oak a little bit.
Okay.
So like it did get aged in oak, but not too much. It's really even kind of like a clove cinnamony thing going on too, which is really dope. Kind of herbal. See, and then you taste it. Once you smell it, then you taste it to see if you can like get any of those on your palate too. Like fleshiness going on. I love it. Like kind of like a
Oh man, it's super rich.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It didn't get richer now.
Yeah.
On the back of your palate, like it's a longer finish. Mouth is still watering because the acid's there.
Yeah, more I feel it on like the sides of my lips watering.
But it, like you're getting kind of like this fleshy kind of fruity thing, like meaning like the skin of the grape, the skin of like the fruit that you're looking for. I really like this wine. So, did you pick anything up?
Just the richness.
The richness.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool. I appreciate you coming out with me and helping me out, man.
You,
for real, man. It's always a pleasure. And just this man right here. Tell them where they can find you, man. On SoundCloud, on like your website, whatever, you know.
Yeah. Everything is Ra_Stablished. That's RA_STABLISHED. You can find me on SoundCloud, Instagram.
Cool. Thanks again. This is Jayton Gunter, owner of GNS Wines, helping you navigate through the wine world one bottle at a time. Have a good day, guys. Take care.